Michael's a big Rangers fan. Michael, good morning to you.
Good morning, gents. Yes, I support a huge team in a Diddy league. And that point is that the Premier League has been pilfering players from all over Europe, actually the whole world, for the past 30 years. And that's the chickens coming home to roost a wee bit. So it's a bit hypocritical for the Premier League to get all worried and concerned about their best players getting taken, when the Premier League have been taking the best players for the past 30 years.
But, Michael, before you leave us, what do you think the Saudi Pro League's end game is? What do you think they want?
I think they're going to end up to want, like the European Super League, but they'll want a World Super League. And they'll have their teams in it, and it'll be the cream of the crop of Europe, and maybe the cream of the crop from the Americas. And that'll probably be the end goal, to be perfectly honest.
Okay, Michael, listen, thank you. I like that. Mark from Birmingham's backing you up. He says they'll probably set up their own competition and invite Europe's elite to take part. They're here to stay. The money they could offer these teams to join them would be way too hard to turn down. Can see that happening, can you not?
Well, you're portraying...
If they don't come here with a team, we might
where
end
are we
up
going to fit that
there.
into the fixtures?
Yeah, exactly. Martin's gone player welfare straight away. We are in the territory of suggesting that the Premier League are worried. The first thing that we've heard from the Premier League was Richard Masters is not the slightest bit worried. Right, so we're creating the narrative that people should be worried. I think the concern will be from the chairman of football clubs saying the economic landscape is going to be influenced by these people, and the reasons why FIFA don't need to have any governance over them, because it's their league, they can do what they bleeding want.
Incidentally, do you think Richard Masters might have to rethink that judgment?
I think Richard Masters might need to think a lot of things. I don't think he's a particularly effective leader.
Maybe in about a year from now. I'm a bit worried.
I told you the other... Yeah, absolutely agree with it. I told you the other day, I think central management inside the Premier League is not strong enough to deal with the consequences of people's behaviour, and they should be dealing with it in terms of financial fair play and governance of these areas. But the bottom line here is that we're debating whether the Saudis are just going to be enabled and facilitated to do precisely as they want. I promise you, I've got no issue they can spend as much money as they want building the league up. But the moment they want to drop into the competitive game, that league can be built up all it wants, right? No one's going to bleed and will watch it. No one cares. Take me that list of players and I'll walk through every single one of them going why they're not particularly meaningful. All they are is, in part, stellar names that once upon a time had a legacy in certain people's eyes. But that's not building a competitive league. The moment the Saudis have to come to the table and say, well, actually, because the question was asked, what's their end game? They haven't got an end game. Most things have got an end game. The Champions League end game is money. The Premier League's end game is money. What's their end game? Influence.
Their end game, we're in pursuit of finding the best version of ourselves.
Okay.
Their end game, to become one of the top 10 leagues in the world.
Well, some people would say their best version of themselves would start with their human rights behaviour. Say, how about just start with that rather than kicking a football round?
I'd agree with that.
But the point is this, is that the moment they want to play and get the benefit of association, because these clubs need a benefit of association off the Ajaxes, off the Barcelonas, off the Arsenals, off the Liverpools, right? You can have some tournaments and some Middle Eastern games that you want to play with them. The moment they want to play in serious competitive football, where the world's broadcasters are interested in them, they'll have to play by a certain set of rules, and there then goes the idea that players want to play there. Because the moment you're getting paid 200 grand a week to kick a ball in Saudi and 200 grand to kick a ball at Manchester United, you're going to Manchester United.
What do you always tell us, though, in life there are two things, money and...
Death and taxes. In football, the two biggest commodities are gossip and money. Yes.
Gossip and money. Now, there's been a lot of gossip.
And we're doing the gossiping part
and
here.
We've seen a lot of gossip over many months, you and I doing this show together. Simon Jordan, why don't you become the next chairman of the FA? Simon Jordan, you should be running the Premier League. Simon Jordan this, Simon Jordan that. If you got a call this afternoon, 50 million a year, run the Saudi Pro League, would you do it?
Listen, I think I'd probably be one of the biggest hypocrites in the world if I was interested in going to work in that particular space. I don't have a problem with Saudi.
So you're saying
that
would
means
be...
you would then?
Well, of course I would.
That would be
if
A1 and the Saudi
wanted to
Airlines.
pay me £200 million a year to go and run the Saudi league, I would come in from the same position I was coming in here, right? We need to build our league up, and we're going to build our league up. But I would still have the tacit acceptance that in order for me to compete against the best clubs in the world, I'm going to have to fall inside a level playing field. There's no argument with them building a league up.
So you'd be on the flight?
Like a quick thing from Quicklands. Who wouldn't? Come on.
Forget Peter O'Toole. It would be Simon of Arabia.
Jim White and Simon Jordan. Monday to Friday mornings from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.